Hi, my name's Maria from IELTSonlinepreparation.com, and in this video I'll be talking about IELTS Writing Task 2, specifically the writing criteria of coherence and cohesion. So let's take a look at what exactly that means. Coherence and cohesion is the criterion which is concerned with the overall clarity and fluency of the message. How the response, i.e. your essay, organizes and links information, ideas and language. The coherence part refers to the linking of ideas through logical sequencing. So, in other words, does your essay make sense? Can it be understood by the reader? The cohesion part refers to the varied and appropriate use of cohesive devices, for example, logical connectors, such as however, moreover, in addition, and these connectors signal relationships between ideas. For example, however signals a contrast, in addition signals that you're adding information, in conclusion signifies that you're making a conclusion, that kind of thing. Pronouns such as these, those, it, they, and conjunctions such as although to signal a contrast, if to signal a condition, and so on. So these cohesive devices assist in making the conceptual, i.e. the ideas, and referential relationships between and within sentences clear. In other words, cohesion is operating within sentences, but also across sentences and across paragraphs. So let's take a look at the writing band descriptors. As you can see up here, I've just downloaded these from the internet, and these are the public version. Specifically, we'll be looking at band score 6, 7 and 8. In terms of the similarities between band 6, 7 and 8, all parts of the essay can be understood, and this is relating to coherence. Now obviously there are going to be differences in how well your essay is understood between each of the band scores. The difference between band score 6 and band score 5 is that some parts of your essay in band score 5 will not be understood by the reader. So, taking a closer look at band score 6, the first criteria reads, arranges information and ideas coherently, and there is a clear overall progression. Okay, so this is relating to how well your essay can be understood. So, yes, your reader can understand everything. If we contrast this with band score 7, it reads, logically organizes information and ideas. There is a clear progression throughout. So what's the difference? Really, all it boils down to is the ease at which the reader can actually understand your ideas in the essay. So between band 6, they'll understand everything, but it could be tricky in places they may have to interpret. In band score 7, they can understand everything pretty much with ease. And if we look up at band score 8, it reads, sequences information and ideas logically. This means there is absolutely no strain on the reader in understanding the message. So to summarize, the first criteria relates to the coherence or the clarity of the message. In all band scores 6, 7 and 8, your message can be understood. It's just the degree of ease at which that can be understood. Moving on to the second criteria, if we read here, in band score 6, uses cohesive devices effectively, but cohesion within and or between sentences may be faulty or mechanical. So what does this mean? So if you recall, cohesive devices were things like discourse markers, the words like however, moreover, in addition, in conclusion, and they were things like pronouns and conjunctions. So with band score 6, you're using these words and they are mostly used effectively. However, you may be making some mistakes with, for example, conjunctions. You may have too many conjunctions in one sentence. You may be making errors in the discourse marker that you choose. For example, you choose in addition, but in actual fact the relationship that you want to show is an example. Or you simply may be overusing the phrase. If we contrast band score 6 with band score 7, it reads uses a range of cohesive devices appropriately, although there may be some under or overuse. So the difference is you're not making the mistakes that a band score 6 person would make in terms of the grammatical accuracy or the relationship between ideas. However, you still may be overusing or perhaps underusing, mostly it's overusing, discourse markers in particular too much, instead of using other cohesive devices such as pronouns or lexical ways of creating cohesion. And if we look at band score 8, in order to score highly, it means that all cohesive devices are used without error, and there's also no overuse or no underuse. It's basically not noticeable. It's so skillful, the cohesion and coherence within your writing. Moving back to band score 6, we look again, this is also related to the cohesive devices. This criteria here may not always use referencing clearly or appropriately. So referencing here refers to pronouns. It can be words like it, or they, or this, or these, or which, or who. It can be also relative pronouns. And it might be, for example, that you are using a singular pronoun, but it's referring to a plural referent. Or it might be that you're using which in a relative clause when actually you're referring to a person. The next component of coherence and cohesion is paragraphing. So in band score 6, you're using paragraphing, but it's not always logically. So what does this mean? Well, you should know that in an English paragraph, there is only one main idea. And this is signaled in the topic sentence, which is the first sentence, or usually is the first sentence of the paragraph. And then the rest of the paragraph extends and develops this one main idea. In band score 6, you might have a topic sentence, and you may have divided your ideas into paragraphs, but there may be some ideas that would be better in a previous paragraph or a subsequent paragraph. They don't really match with the topic sentence. Whereas if we look at band score 7, the criteria reads presents a clear central topic within each paragraph. Now this means that every paragraph you have must have a topic sentence. This is a difference between band score 7 and band score 8. And it also means that all of the sentences within your paragraph relate back to this topic sentence and support and extend the idea, the main idea, contained within this topic sentence. And finally, if we look up at band score 8, it reads, uses paragraphing sufficiently and appropriately. This is basically the same as band score 7. However, there is really no strain on the reader whatsoever. They can understand all of the logical sequencing of information and ideas in your paragraph because it's all related very clearly to the topic sentence. So, just to summarize, coherence refers to how easy it is to understand your essay and the message in your essay, and cohesion refers to all of the different ways, the techniques, for example, cohesive devices, that you use to make the relationship between the ideas clear to the reader and to make references that link the ideas across paragraphs, within paragraphs, and also within sentences. Thanks for listening. That's all I want to say about coherence and cohesion. If you'd like to know any more, visit www.tugas.com. www.ieltsonlinepreparation.com.